What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on rIVerse Reacts. Question for you all. Do y'all know that we are more than just YouTube reactors? Did you know that?
What?
Yeah. We're actually a band called rIVerse, and that's with an I, not an L.
Get out.
rIVerse. rIVerse. We wanted to come here and let you guys know that there is plenty of additional content on the rIVerse Live Variety channel. Live performances, music videos, acapellas, and additionally, vlogs, makeup tutorials, and so much more. Make sure you guys check it out. Hello, what is up, everybody? We are rIVerse. My name is Diz.
I'm Khadija.
My name is Zach.
And I'm Monroe.
Welcome to another episode of rIVerse Reacts. Before we continue forward, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below to the rIVerse Live Variety channel. Today we are going to be hopping on the internet, playing over to the United States of America to I can't speak.
Keep going, just keep going.
To have another artist who we haven't had featured on this channel, and I always live for the brand new features. Today we are going to be checking out Melody Thornton, formerly of the Pussycat Dolls. She was my favorite member of the Pussycat Dolls, so it's really exciting to watch her solo work on season 3. We did the second episode of this season. We did the Pussycat Dolls react comeback. So now we're checking out Melody and seeing what she's up to. Yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into this. This is Melody Thornton with Phoenix Rides.
Oh, she's so cute.
Idea. I'll tell you guys after.
Oh, my teacher, won't you help me?
Come on, vocals.
I am drowning. Give me your hand, help me, pull me in.
Oh.
Help me, pull me in. Oh, my night in shining armor.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, another in this Reverse Reacts filming session, I'm so happy that we've been able to have a balance of this art, what we saw with Omarion, and with the other videos that we're seeing. It is a good balance of what's happening today in the world, and then also the escapism of the other artists. First, let me just talk about Melody. Okay, so imagine all of this talent not being able to be shared while you were in the group.
I was thinking that exact same thing.
I totally understand the content and the branding and the whatever the case may be, but I remember specifically seeing a bunch of interviews where I'll call him out by name because I'll call him out by name because I don't care. Ron Fair, who was involved in putting together the Pussycat Dolls with Robin Anton and all them. They were talking about Nicole Scherzinger and talking about the Pussycat Dolls, and then they were talking about how the dolls should be grateful to Nicole because she blah 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 blah. Fair enough, but he was talking about, he goes, yeah, some other dolls had some ad-libs here and there, but was very much casting aside her contributions. And when you talk about ad-libs, that's Melody. Whenever you think about the Pussycat Dolls, that she was the one who did the ad-libs.
Yeah.
Exactly, the only one.
Yeah.
So he was very much dismissive of the only woman of color and the only other woman who was delivering some kind of vocal. And you hear her singing on this song and how incredible that voice is.
Yeah.
And they did not let it, they would not let it be heard. I understand in interviews after Pussycat Dolls, her, and she's always been very gracious about it. She's never talked poorly about them or the project, just that it's just not for me, and kudos to them, all power to them, whatever. But she would always say in interviews, I'm a singer, and I get it. And I always knew that she could sing, even within the Pussycat Dolls. I always knew that she could sing, and I was always hoping that they'd allow her to sing. But I'm so happy that she's out on her own and that she didn't go back with them, because now we can see the fullness of her art and her talent, and her vocal performance, her delivery, the emotion in her performance. I mean, girl, the emotion in her delivery, what she's singing about. These are the artists that we need today. These are the artists that are important. And whether they're seen or heard on a wide scale, whether they're pushed or promoted or not, this is why we love the internet, because we can receive the art the way that it's meant to, without it being tampered by labels or whatever the case may be. Or you have the artists who are out there being pushed and promoted and whatever the case may be, and that's fine. But the internet allows us to connect with those who are out here delivering a different message, and a message that is vital and important, another voice to be heard, which is in a lot of ways providing strength to those who are experiencing what we're experiencing today with the cultural wars, essentially, the racial pandemic that we're going through right now. This song is very important, and I knew that when I saw that she had made a release, and I read a little bit about the subject matter, I was like, we have to put this on our platform. I mean, she's already been around the world, and with the Pussycat Dolls, they were one of the biggest groups in the world. So she's already Melody Thornton, but whatever we can do to provide more space and more exposure for artists like this and their incredible messages, I'm so happy to do that. I was very, very touched by the lyrics, her performance. The video is exactly what it needed to be. She just needed to be there and sing the song and have all that footage that we saw, both past and present, of what we're still experiencing to this day. This racial pandemic situation, which is very real. I know that for me personally, I've had to I cannot look at anything online that has to do, before I was very much paying attention, I can't look at a single thing. I can't look at any videos of anybody being shot or killed, or people in the streets fighting and yelling. I literally cannot handle any more of it. So I didn't know how. Once I saw that, I didn't really know what this was really gonna be. But once it started, I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. But she took me there. Her voice and the story, she guided me through it, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for her as an artist and her talent. One quick thing, she used to talk in interviews a lot, saying how she's not a dancer, and I was always like, this woman can do it all. Like, if you think about the Pussycat Dolls, she was standing, performing behind the lead singer, dancing with these girls, these other women who were like dancers. But at the end of the day, she is also a dancer just like them, because she held her own, and you could never tell, right, that she wasn't a dancer. She's a dancer. But to also see her here vocally and everything like that, I'm just so impressed, and I'm so proud for so many reasons that we reacted to this today. I'm gonna pass it off.
Go ahead, Khadijah. No? Good? Do you wanna go ahead?
She's a great, wonderful storyteller. Unfortunately, I'm kind of like, because I'm such a consumer of pop culture, in the sense of like I see the singles from the album, and like, or I hear them, and then I go on to the next single, and then to the, and so what I'm trying to say is, I think Pussycat Dolls, I think Nicole Scherzinger, and it makes me sad to think that like there's all of these other talented, like, not only just dancers, but like artists that are just like kind of like, it's like have a lid on them they're kept from flourishing because, and nothing wrong with Nicole Scherzinger, and like it, and you know, she had a choice being there, and I'm sure she, you know, gained so much from that, but it just makes me feel, it connects me to this kind of like racial war in a kind of a different way. Just makes me wonder about like, and ponder on all the various opportunities that, or just beautiful pieces of you know, of individuals, and not just individuals, like black men, black women, that like specifically, I guess, in this moment, where they're like just not allowed to flourish, you know what I mean, and not allowed to fly, and like what beautiful things are like could be uncovered, you know what I mean? Because that was like her and her bonnet, and like I don't even know what you call that. Storytelling. She was just such a great storyteller, and through this whole pandemic as well, what has always kind of struck me as being like the most like the weirdest thing of it all is like, you know, when you go and like you read history books, or like you see like coverage of like World War II, and it's just it always feels like a little intangible, because it's coverage of something from, and I always associate it with like past, and it's like that's not where I am today. So it's like it just has this quality of inaccessibility, because it's like a moment in time that we can never unlock again. When I see montage sequences of like this, there was like moments of like, you know, like Martin Luther King and like things like all these moments, and then you see images of today, there's just like this, it creates this like portal of like, wow, like it's now that thing, I have goosebumps, that thing of like history is like here today, and it's very, it's just, it makes me really recognize like the present moment and like what's going on, and the gravity of the situation, and like all of those things that required, you know, human like war essentially is now required today, and it just, yeah, you know what I mean?
I think it's showing that it just never stopped.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It just never stopped.
Yes.
I just think about how she, like, immediately when the song started, I thought about her in the Pussycat Dolls, and like I can't even imagine being so suppressed, like in a group, in a musical group where it's like, you know that you're deep down, like you are a singer, and it's like you have to be in the back. I can't even imagine the emotional trauma that has caused her. But I'm so glad that she is no longer in the Pussycat Dolls. And again, no tea, no shade to the Pussycat Dolls at all. As an entity, that they are fantastic. But her as a solo artist, I'm so grateful that she's able to step out of that box and to showcase who she is and what she delivers. I thought this music video was beautiful in the way that it told the story. I liked how they used imagery, not only with the montage that we saw, but with her. How she started off with this time period piece, right? And it showed montages of that time. Then as we transitioned into today, she transformed into more of modern day. So you look back, it started off as that period time, like that is what a black woman would look like. That's how she would dress, her hair and everything. And as we transition, this is what a black woman looks like today, right? And I think that, and I don't say women in general, I say like specifically black women, because hairstyles and everything are different from white women or women of other races. So their hair is styled that way for them. So that's why I specified black women. I just feel very emotional. I feel like there's an emotional roller coaster going on. I go through like turmoil, I go through sadness, I go through hope, and then I listen to the words, and I'm listening to her voice, and it's just like the phoenix rise. Like even though we are going through all of these terrible times, I feel like in the end, hopefully when we get there, we will rise, like, you know, like the phoenix will rise. And I think that aspect brings hope to a lot of people. But I think specifically, and I'm speaking for Khadija, correct me if I'm wrong, I just feel like it's hard for people to watch this. I can't speak on being black because I'm not black. I can't speak for being a black woman, but I can only imagine watching that, and like it's just it's a lot. So I understand why sometimes like why you couldn't express something. So
yeah, I think it's like we've been kind of, there's a whole conversation that's happening online, and I think that's a really important thing. Like you said, the internet being what it is, it allows people to see more pictures and hear more voices, and I think that's a fantastic thing. I think a lot of people now are recognizing the trauma. That's that. Like, intergenerationally, black people have been suffering trauma for a long time, and right now it's kind of it is at a height because there's so much conversation happening, and people are seeing, like, witnessing firsthand how the reality of what it is, and it's just like one thing after the other. This year in particular, it's been for as long as however long, but like we've kind of been seeing all these hashtags and all these like deaths, really public deaths happening, but this year in particular has been a lot more light being shed on it, and it's a lot for everybody to consume and for everybody to be dealing with and trying to process. But for black people in particular, like, it is like there are psychologists out there writing studies about the trauma of witnessing people who look like you being murdered and being mistreated over and over in all these different ways, in all these different like areas of life, and having that little sense of that, like that anxiety, that fear of knowing it could be you, it could be your brother, it could be your husband, it could be your daughter, it could be like, it just, that's traumatic.
And compounded by, don't forget your train of thought, but also compounded by people pretending that they don't see it, or not acknowledging it. That's the part that I think really fucks with your mind. It's like, how are you going to continue to pretend that this isn't a thing?
Turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah, you're suffering trauma, and then you're being gaslit every day to be like, no, it's not happening. It's that detachment from, because that was history, and we've all seen the footage, and we've seen Martin Luther King give speeches and whatever, but like that was the past. That was the civil rights movement, and that was something that we read about in our history book. but not acknowledging that that's something that people are still experiencing every day. I think this video was beautifully done. Like right from the beginning, I think we all kind of were hit with that, the way that it was done, really being able to kind of tie in what we think of as history with what is currently happening now in 2020 and seeing the through line of it. And I think I've said this in every reaction that we've done this year of a Black artist, but Black people are magic. Like, to be hurting and suffering and creating the most beautiful art is like, really you would expect that all you're gonna do is like crawl in a hole and cry or rage and just want to burn the whole world down. But Black people are consistently offering that healing and offering that uplift. Like, it was hard for me to watch, obviously, as you saw, but there was also this sense of, especially that chorus, there's this sense of like, but we're good. You know what I mean? We're suffering and we're going through it, but like, Melody has my back and I have his back, and like, we're fucking good. We're gonna be good. That Black people are magic. The end.
Period.
Anyway.
Playlist. Hola. I would playlist that.
That's a playlist for me.
Playlist for me.
That's gonna be a on repeat playlist for me. You guys are gonna be like, Leisha, where are you? And I'm gonna be like,
crying to Melody Thornton.
It's rising.
No, for real. And y'all, please check out, listen to, support Melody Thornton. This is an artist who's proved herself, was a part of one of the biggest girl groups ever, and was a is a pop star, but also is giving you this type of level of art and performance, and she deserves all the flowers, and she deserves to be seen and heard. I don't know what her social media is, at Melody Thornton. I'm sure Google her. She Google her. Period. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Once again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Many of you have told us that rIVerse brings you joy and happiness on your brightest and darkest days.
But what you may not know is that you, the Ivy League, you really provide that to us as well. And so we wanted to use this YouTube platform so we can make a declaration together.
And that declaration is #BWVL. You are beautiful, you are worthy, you are valued, you are loved. Say that with us, everybody, using an I statement. I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am valued, I am loved.
Because each and every single one of you is. Much love always from rIVerse.
Get up off your, don't waste another day. Seconds and minutes turn to hours, gonna fade away. Life is amazing, live like it's your last day. Enjoy the ride, don't let time pass you by, cause you can't get it back.